Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program and what I can only describe as the lag machine. It's done. It's finally done. And that means that Kerbal is ready to head home. So we can detach up here and we can disarm that. And off goes Kerbal. Now, I believe we are currently flying this. Yes, indeed we are. We're going to flip around to orbital retrograde because Kerbal needs to come home. Now, this tank is completely full, and that's fine. We are as full as we can be here. This thing is completely fueled up, except for maybe missing a little bit of RCS, but that's fine. So we're just going to bring this on home. And I'm going to go in here in hopes of not having quite as much lag. But we're still going to have the lag, and we are going to bring this on down. This should be a pretty quick and easy retrograde burn here. We're going to need to drop our periapsis down. And at this point, we can say, goodbye, station. Goodbye. Oh, we are heavily thrust limited. Goodbye faster, station. Goodbye faster. We're going to bring this periapsis height down to about 30 kilometers. And that's close. Goodbye, lag station. It's not really a station, but goodbye, lag. You will not be missed. So this is the frame rate right now. Oh, yeah. It's nice and jittery. And then this thing will physics unload soon. Any moment now. It's like, I think, 2.4 kilometers or something like that. There it goes, 2.5 kilometers. And just like that, buttery smooth. I don't know what to say. That thing just creates a ton of lag. Well, we're just going to warp our way around and head into the atmosphere. Kerbal, it's time to come home. We can probably land this thing as is and recover some extra bits. Not that it's strictly speaking necessary, but we can almost certainly do that. We're going to physics warp forward here. And we're just going to bring this on down. I should probably split off the drogue chutes here. That is these guys. There we go. Fantastic. Okay. Let the energy bleeding begin. We're bleeding off various amounts of energy. We might burn off our photovoltaic panels with this re-entry. We'll see if that ends up happening. If it does, it does. It's no big deal. Now, we could burn here to make this a smoother re-entry, but that would probably make it take longer, awkwardly enough. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to bring this thing right on down. So, Kerbal is homeward bound. We're going to be impacting the surface as of now. And we're not seeing any issues with physics warping at this moment, so this all looks good. Very, very good indeed. Okay, now we're starting to see some heat issues. We are decelerating rapidly, though. Yeah, that overheat just went away. We've lost attitude, which is kind of funny. I don't think that's how the aerodynamics of this thing works. But okay, I guess we're sitting here now. Maybe I have a serious misunderstanding of how aerodynamics works, but okay. This is actually fine. Completely and totally. Because this will give us more surface area to slow down with, so we don't hate that. As soon as we can, we will unleash our drogue chutes, which will be here in about another 300 meters per second of deceleration, so that'll be fine. And it looks like we're coming down in water. Completely okay. We didn't lose power, did we? No, we didn't lose power, so that's definitely not what caused us to drift off of retrograde there. Well, for one thing, we were on surface. Yeah, I don't have an explanation for why it wants to fly this way. We'll be pulled around by our parachutes, but that's okay. So with the drogues slowing us down, the mains will be available shortly. And there they go. Cool. So we'll physics warp back down to the ground and bring this on in. The 4 parachutes are definitely overkill. I think. Although that's intended to bring back the capsule. It should still be overkill for all of this, but if we have to do a little bit of propulsive landing with this fuel tank, that's fine. It's not a big deal. So let's see what ends up happening with that. 40 meters per second with just the drogues deployed. The mains deploy, and we're fine. We're not going to need to propulsively land. Sounds good. Okay, so we'll just warp on down here. And that will be Kerbals returned, and then we're going to need to go get ourselves a very, very large rock. I need to try to remember which very large rock we're going after, but I think that should be pretty simple to figure out. So let's just go ahead and sploosh that on down. Beautiful. And we'll recover that. Kerbals is now home after having constructed the lag machine. Which, by the way, I'm probably going to rename that to the lag machine at this point, because that's what it is. It creates a lot of lag. And I feel like it shouldn't. But okay. So we're just going to go ahead and say, yep, that's fine. We get all of that back. Great. Kerbals is now level 1. And then we're going to hop into our tracking station and let's find the lag machine. We're also going to need to find our target, which I believe is this guy, this asteroid ferry here. Although it could be Moon Miner, which is in this orbit. Am I confused about Moon Miner? Yes, I am. Why is it here with 1200 ore? Okay, maybe I'm completely forgetting something. I don't know why this would be here. Oh, I bet we just left it in orbit and it had a moon encounter and was gravity assisted out here. I bet you that's what happened while we were warping sometime. Okay, well, we've got our asteroid redirector class A here. That's got a tiny amount of liquid fuel and oxidizer in it, but mostly, yeah, we just wanted to drop that in orbit. We don't need to do anything with that. The asteroid ferry here is, I believe, the one that we're looking for. So let's go ahead and fly that and double check that. And I'll name this something that we can remember, rather than just asteroid ferry. So let's see what we've got here. Yeah, this is definitely the Class E asteroid that weighs like 3,000 tons. Okay, so we'll go ahead and rename this. Instead of being the asteroid ferry, we are going to make this be the Class E asteroid. There we go. Fantastic. So now we'll head back to the tracking station. And we're going to need to intercept this thing and bring it into the mining ring station. That is the goal here. So let's go ahead and grab the large asteroid mover core. I believe this is what we are looking for here. Cool. And this is potentially going to require quite a lot of warping. I'm not sure what our timing is going to look like here, ultimately. Okay, so this is the lag machine. Welcome to the lag machine. Population, us. We load this in and our frame rate immediately is hot garbage, but that's okay. For now, we're just going to need to hop in over here. And, well, really, we don't even need to do this right now. What we should do, well, we could do it now. Where is this thing right now? Here? I feel like that's going to be kind of difficult to catch up to. Probably going to require substantial warps. For now, let's just head out and make our way out of here. So we're going to burn sometime around here-ish. That's only in like 2 minutes, but boy, that frame rate is exciting. Oh boy. Okay. Well, we're going to need to do this substantially later. Yeah, like over here. And that's reasonably acceptable as far as an escape velocity goes. I'm guessing we impact the surface with that one. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on there. What we really need is one of these guys, but without impacting the surface. Because if we go over to the moon here, we can see, yeah, that's minorly impacting the surface. So we're just going to bring that out, and we'll toss in a little bit more prograde, actually a little more retrograde. And change that timing. Cool, that'll do. Good enough. We'll line up for that SAS on, and we'll go over to this maneuver node. Just how slowly do we turn? Answer? Pretty slowly. Now you'll note that this entire tank is only 473 meters per second. That, of course, is because this is not hugely efficient for moving this thing, and that's expected. This is not going to be enough here. However, I'm a little concerned. There's one thing I'm concerned about, and that is decoupling this and having that happen cleanly. So I'm going to make a quick save here, and if decoupling this breaks any of these engines, then I'm going to use the mode in the cheat menu to not have it break, because it does have clearance there. I'm just concerned about the hitboxes. We'll see how that goes. If we don't need it, great. I would be very, very happy about that. This engine plate doesn't need to be used ever. Same with this engine plate. It'd be very bad to have that engine plate be moved, or to be used, rather. So we have a lot of roll going on here, don't we? As we attempt to get into position for this burn. We definitely have a lot of roll going on. I'm not sure how much I love that, but this thing should be almost entirely symmetrical. We should be pretty much straight down the line for the center of mass. In fact, it should be literally straight down the line for the center of mass. Right, this one. Yeah, that's going to make things be off a little bit, but it shouldn't be any measurable amount, in all honesty. So we are going to start our burn here in a few seconds. I'm going to physics warp us forward and see what happens. It's really trying to roll here. Interesting. Let's freeze that physics for the moment. SAS really wants to get us like some artificial gravity rolling here. I don't have an explanation for that, but sure. If that's what it wants to do, I guess. Okay, I'm going to make another quick save here just in case that decoupling issue here that I talked about is real. But let's see how this goes. 2, 1, and burn. Off we go, being accelerated by our mainsails. And how long of a burn is this going to be? About 2 minutes on this section is the answer. And then like 6 minutes on this. These are far more efficient engines, these nuclear engines, so that'll be for the best. We're just going to physics warp here if we think we can get away with it. Nope, we cannot get away with that. Okay, I'm going to kill these rotations. And we'll try it again. Without physics warping this time. Cool. Physics warp is not an option. That is very clear. Honestly, we're definitely picking up a shimmy here. Okay. Once this stage is detached, it shouldn't be nearly as bad. I'm thinking about turning off the gimbaling on these. That might actually help us. Okay. We're definitely pulling off to the side here. And let's just see what we can do about that. Physics warping while we turn back, and we'll burn again. Cool. Okay, I am hoping that things will get a lot better without this here. And it should. It definitely should. Is that at a funky angle? No, it's all good. Double checking that we have the correct thing decoupling here. Yes, we do. Actually, these shouldn't move, should they? It should just be this portion that comes off. I hope that's correct. I hope I've not done this wrong. That would make me very sad. We'll find out in 30 seconds. And once this is gone, if we need to have an engineer come up here and remove this, that's not the end of the world. That would be the way that I would do that. Okay. 15 more seconds on this burn, and then we find out if I built this correctly or not. But yeah, this is just connected here, so that should not get disconnected. Okay. 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Okay. Okay. Excellent. So, this portion of the burn is going to be exceptionally lengthy. However, we should, in theory, be safe to physics warp it. And I'm hoping that once that goes away, the lag will get a little bit better anyway. There's no parts here that can really feasibly move, so physics warping should be completely fine with this. And yes, that appears to be the case. So we are off. Now remember, these atomic rocket motors do have alternators, so we do have a source of power other than these solar panels. So that's good. And we have a lot of stored electricity, too. 90,000 stored electricity. That is a ludicrous amount of electricity, for the record. Well, off we go to the moon, and yep, these struts are going to still be here. That is what we built it to do. Even if that's not necessarily exactly what I thought was going to happen when I built it. But yeah, that's exactly what was always going to happen. Cool. The last thing I want to do at this point is press spacebar. So if that happens accidentally, I will probably feel completely happy about reverting it, for the record. Because that would just be activating this engine plate. And there's no way that I can, like, disable that. Yeah. So that's sad. So we just don't press spacebar. That's the idea here. Okay. So we're almost through this moon burn. And I'm kind of curious how off we're going to be here. That burn was kind of a stop and start sort of thing, and this is a very long burn to get this finished off. It looks like we're not going to be too bad. So that's good. And off we go. Off to the moon. We're going to have to make sure that we're not on a collision course. That would be a bad thing. Okay. 60 meters per second to go here. We have a lot of fuel in all these. But we have burned a decent chunk of it already. I mean, not a huge chunk, but some. We've burned some. But yeah, this is just a ridiculous amount of fuel. So we need to get this thing docked up, or rather grappled on, as efficiently as we can, because I actually don't know how much spare Delta V we'll have. It's going to be interesting, for sure. This thing is definitely wacky, but it's very solid. There's no doubt about that. Okay. How are we doing here? We seem to have lost efficiency on this burn. It's weird. It's definitely weird. I'm just going to switch over to burning prograde. Yeah. It's just that we kind of have too much going on here in terms of burn time. We've, I think, largely missed our window. Okay. So we're just going to go on by without a gravity assist. That's fine. I'm not super shocked about that. To be clear, we probably could have rescued the window, but I don't really feel like it right now. So that's fine. We're just going to get out of here this way. There we go. That's escape velocity. That'll do the trick. So I would like to warp up to here. I canceled the auto time warp rather than closing the map. Okay. Goodbye, Moon. We're not really getting much of an assist from you, but that's fine. And off we go. So, at this point, we might have to burn a little bit more prograde. It looks like we do, actually. Awkward. That's probably a floating point error, but we're just going to go ahead and burn a little bit more prograde here. There we go. Didn't need much. Cool. So now we're going to head out over this direction and warp on by. Goodbye, Moon. Goodbye, Kerbal. I'm not sure where you guys are. It's hard to see you through the frame rate. There they are. Fantastic. We are out of here. Cool. So we need to set this as our target. And that's got this maneuver right now that I'm going to want to delete, but we're control locked and can't delete it even from here. That's awkward. We do have our antenna extended. I wanted to double check that. We've got our RTG good to go. We've got everything good to go. And that looks good. Okay, so we are 1.3 degrees off here. So at this ascending node, we are going to go ahead and burn anti-normal here. About like that. 212 meters per second. Cool. We'll get turned on over. We're definitely turning a lot more efficiently now that we are down to our core spacecraft. So that's good. And let's warp over to that burn. Here in about 60 days. Now, as far as the actual encounter we're going to get here, this is going to be interesting. I'm not sure how we're going to go about getting that encounter. It will require some warping, and I may do that part off camera because it's probably not going to be amazingly interesting. But maybe when we come back for next episode, we'll have that encounter ready to go. For now, we will get our inclination burn done, and that's going to be about a 4-minute burn. So even with physics warping here, it's going to be a little while. We'll go ahead and burn it now. And can we not rotate like that, please? Thanks. Can we not spin like this, please? Thanks. We're just going to keep going back and forth like that, aren't we? That's affirmative. Okay. Well, that's fine, I suppose. So let's get our inclination changed. If we can open the map. That was laggy. Okay, that was incredibly laggy. But I guess that's fine. And the inclination change will happen soon enough. The question now becomes, how efficiently can we get an encounter? That's the question. But it is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, if I remember, we will have the encounter by the time we start the episode, and we'll just execute the encounter, get docked up, and bring this asteroid on into Kerbal. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I was hoping we'd have this burn a little closer to done by the time I finished that, but let's just finish this up real quick here. And there we go. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, Sigma162, JJ Gamer, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.